We're killing the earth, and that's really fun. No one believes us because we are young. Our forests are turning to ash in a second. Ask California, they'll tell you about it. They'll tell you how they have lost all their homes while Trump turns a blind eye and tweets on his phone. Global warming's an expensive little hoax for the last time. This is not a joke. Our factories are working and toxins emitting. The ozone is crumbling and we won't stop putting chemicals in what we're trying to breathe. Our future is stolen and we are the thieves. Sea levels are rising and icebergs are melting. The coral reefs are dying and no one is helping. Do you realize they keep the oceans alive? This started back in 1985. Don't come to me when your child can't think of what a tiger is cause they're extinct. Don't cry to me when your fur coat ain't clean. The endangered list is now 41,416. Dear 2045, I don't think we're gonna survive. If you end up hearing this story, I just want to say, I'm sorry.
Between best friends and regular friends. If you fall as your friend, I will help you up and then I might, giggle or something. But as your best friend, if you fall, I am going to be crying laughing. And once I finish laughing, then I'll...
So annoying when you're just about to go shower and all of a sudden your sibling runs right in front of you saying that they're going to shower first. So I'm like, okay, fine, just come on and hurry up, Sophie. I feel disgusting. So you go back to your room and wait. But then, after like 1 hour, you go back to check and they still haven't gone into the shower. Honestly, I could have been done showering in that time. And at this point, I literally don't care. I just get my stuff and go to the bathroom. But surprise, surprise, she's already in and locked the door. How annoying could siblings be?
Dude, I like doing it under a fake name sometimes. And so today I was like, I feel like a David. So I went in and she was like, what's the name you want to put the order under? And I was like, David. And mind you, there were only 2 people in the shop, right? And so it came time for the order and she was like, order for David. And I was like, who the heck is David? Why is he not coming up to get his order? And I was like, lol, David's so stupid. And I realized, I'm David.
My brother's allergic to pork, but how come when his best friend Nick comes over, he says, oh yes, give me that sausage.
I feel glorious. Katie, can you clean my room? Why would I do that? Mum says you have to. Yeah. Mum! What is it? Well, basically, Lucy said if I could clean our room. Is that true? Lucy Edwards! Oh my... Mum! Mum's right there, Well, she just hit me! My poor eardrums. Shut up, Katie! Girls! Katie Edwards! Yeah? The most selective hearing ever, because when I'm in the car listening to music in my AirPods, I was listening to Orange Juice by Melanie Martinez, and it wasn't even at the cuss words. And my mom screamed at me to shut it off because it was apparently bad for me. But then when she's yelling at me to come downstairs for dinner and I scream back, just a second, I'll be right there, she storms upstairs, slams my door open, and then screams at me because I didn't come down in 2.23567 seconds.
One time I went to the zoo, and one of the exhibits at this zoo was a big hole in the wall with no glass, just a hole with some branches and sticks, and a sign that said, in this exhibit is a giant spider. But apparently this one specific kind of spider would never leave its web, so they didn't even have to have glass on the cage. But guess what? When I looked in that exhibit, there was no giant spider. I even stuck my head in the cage to get a good look, and I couldn't find it. So when a zookeeper walked past, I was like, hey, zookeeper, where's the giant spider? And she looked around the exhibit and couldn't find it herself, and all she had to say was, that's weird. Excuse me, what do you mean that's weird? There's a giant spider on the loose. Call 911.
Story time about this girl who faked being Latina. So there was this girl who went to my school. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is the queen of lies. In every subject we talk about, Sarah always, and I mean always, comes up with a lie that has to do with her life. Here's an example. What if we're talking about Tom Holland? She'd just come in and say, oh yeah, Tom Holland is my dad's friend. I met him once. These types of lies. Another one is when she told everyone she's Latina. It was lunchtime in school, and we were talking about where we went for the summer. Sarah tells us that she went to Spain, and she started telling us on what she did there, and says that she's 50% Latina. She also said that she lived in Spain for 6 years, and if there is any person who lived in Spain for 6 years, they must know how to speak Spanish. And then my friend Kayla asked her, what does good morning mean in My friend Kayla asked Sarah, what does good morning mean in Spanish? And then Sarah looks at us, looks back at her food, and said, I don't know, I'm still taking Spanish lessons. And we just look at her, that she doesn't even know what good morning means in Spanish. If she had lived in Spain for 6 years, she would have known what it meant. I don't know how, but that incident has spread around the entire school. Every person that walks past Sarah just says, Buenos dias, basically teasing her about not knowing what good morning means in Spanish. And then Sarah didn't show up to school for 3 days after that. And oh boy, we haven't even gotten to the crazy part. The 3 days pass, and Sarah comes back to school. As soon as she walks into the class, everyone's eyes was on her. She came up, sat in her seat. So after 3 days of Sarah not coming to school, she showed up in a crop top, skinny jeans, fake nails, and fake lashes. And her hair was in a bun with edges. Yes, you heard me, edges. This lady is white. And in lunchtime, she took out a bag of hot Cheetos and some dipping sauce. I don't know if this was supposed to make us think she's Latina, but trust me, it didn't work. All of the freshmen and sophomores took out their phone and started filming her. This is where I kind of felt bad, but she ran to the bathroom crying, and she just stayed there and didn't show up to any classes for the rest of the day.
Mummy and Daddy are fighting again. They're shouting at each other. I love Mummy. I don't love Daddy quite as much. He hurt me once. Yesterday, I noticed my Mummy had scars on her wrist. She told me she got them at war. Daddy tells me that Mummy's weak, but I think she's very strong. Daddy kept getting angry at Mummy. Mummy and Daddy were fighting again in the garage before he went to work. After he went to work, I found Mummy sleeping in the car. She looks really peaceful. I opened the car door and sat next to Mummy. I noticed she had bruises on her neck. She must have got them at war again. I began to feel sleepy too. I'll take a nap next to Mummy. I'm sure Mummy will wake up soon. I can't wait to tell her how much I love her.